Now we quickly move on to another presenter. This is Dr. Victor Shikuku, who will present on the efforts by the Pest Control and Products Board to withdraw the highly hazardous pesticides from the Kenyan market. Dr. Shikuku is a lecturer in the Department of Physical Sciences at Kamosi Friends University in Kenya. He holds a PhD in chemistry from Maseno University, and he serves as the research group leader on materials research for water treatment at Kamosi Friends University. He's also a member of the Technical Committee on Water Quality at the Kenya Bureau of Standards. Dr. Shikuku has authored over 50 research articles, book chapters, and edited more books. So I wanted to know what his understanding of the phrase, "you are what you eat," means to him. And he said, this phrase suggests that the quality and types of food we eat can have a profound impact on our body, influencing everything from our energy levels, appearance, to our long-term health outcomes. This saying serves as a compelling motivation for making mindful and nutritious food choices, as it highlights that the essence of who we are is intricately connected to the foods we put into our bodies. A round of applause, please, for Dr. Shikuku.
Good morning, everyone. Seems there's a lot of tension in the room since that presentation that is alarming if you think about it closely. When we consider that the most hazardous pesticides are the cheapest and the widely used, especially for our staple food, which means our daily intake per day goes high. I know for most of us, before the day ends, you must do something to do with maize and tomatoes in one form or another. And so this tells us that we need to reflect more seriously on these particular issues. And as it has been said, the journey to have these pesticides off the market has been on for a while, leading to a petition to withdraw the highly hazardous pesticides, which led the PCPB to issue the call for participation as far as 30 ingredients are concerned. By now, you have already seen that we are not talking about 30 ingredients. There are much more, and PCPB only highlighted 30 of their interest in that particular call. And so what we are going to do is we will reflect on the scientific document that we had put together during the call and vis-a-vis the action that PCPB has taken in that regard. They will have been here to speak for themselves, and therefore I will not speak for them. I will speak what I think about the actions they have taken so far. So when the call was made for public participation, we did a scientific report on the pesticides in the Kenyan market. This report is available on the Route to Food Initiative website. It is still accessible to the public. That was in September of 2021, and those particular 4 organizations were behind that particular report. And today is 2 years, therefore, since this report was made. And so we can now reflect back and see where are we as far as this is concerned. So briefly about the report, because we cannot go through the details and the document is available. As far as the pesticides in the market, we had the 3 categories, that is the insecticides, the herbicides, and the fungicides. The active ingredients of interest out of the 30 that were mentioned by the PCPB, 5 of those active ingredients were among the fungicides, 20 were insecticides, and then 4 of them were herbicides. The products containing those active ingredients, because we listed all the products relevant to the active ingredients. Under the fungicides, there were 144 products containing the active ingredients. Insecticides, there were 177 products containing those particular active ingredients. And then under the herbicides, there were 22 products in the market that contained those active ingredients. So in terms of total products in the market with those ingredients, we were looking at 343 products containing 30 ingredients spread across them. We categorize, of course, the products in terms of, this has been mentioned in the previous presentation, about their toxicity to bees and fish and birds. We looked at them in terms of their carcinogenicity, mutagenicity, reproductive health, and other effects. So these are some of the criteria that were used to categorize those particular ingredients of interest. And after that, we will come up with the recommendations touching on each of those particular active ingredients, which was our proposal to PCPB. And you can see at the end there, we had different proposals. There are ingredients that we proposed immediate withdrawal. There are those that we proposed phased withdrawal, and those that could be retained in the market. And so we may not go through each one of them because the report is available to the public, I've already mentioned, but those are the different recommendations touching on the different active ingredients. And so we will be interested to see what the regulatory body PCPB will do as far as these recommendations were concerned. So in July this year, so that will be roughly 2 years down the line since the report was submitted, PCPB issued a circular describing the actions they have taken as far as the 30 ingredients that they had put out. So in this circular here, they described action they had taken on 7 ingredients out of the 30. So if you talk about 7 out of 30, it appears almost more than 20%. It appears nice. But of course, you know that we are not talking about 30 ingredients in the market. We had much more. And so we will be at the end of this, we will look at and reflect on how plausible is this decision that has been made. So the 7 ingredients that were mentioned, or they took action, are the following. So we have pymetrozine, and the action taken there was phased withdrawal from the market by 31st December next year, and immediate termination of any ongoing registration. And so we hope that by end of next year, then we will not be having any of these products available to our farmers. Of course, there are other challenges that we will look into other than policy statements. We know that generally in this country, we have very many good policies. But you will also agree that when it comes to implementation, that is also another story altogether. So the decision on this one was phased withdrawal by 31st December of 2024 and termination of any ongoing registration. The next active ingredient is thiacloprid, and the decision there also is phased withdrawal by December of 2024 and termination of any ongoing registration. The next active ingredient is Duron. The decision is the same. First withdrawal by 31st December of next year and termination of any ongoing registration. And then the next molecule here is chlorothalonil, and the decision is also the same. First withdrawal by December of next year and termination of any ongoing registration. Of course, there is much joy here to celebrate, generally speaking. This one, if you have followed the previous presentation, is the elephant in the room in this document. And we can appreciate PCPB for taking that particular decision, among others. And so sometimes we are, of course, when we look at the big picture, we'll say that we have a very long way to go. But on this point, we can say that half a loaf is better than no bread, right? So I think this was a good move in my view. The decision is the same, first withdrawal by 31st December and immediate cancellation of ongoing registration. Also, we have restrict the use of the active ingredient products to building and construction use only, and not fit for use in edible crops. Then lastly, we have this last ingredient. Of course, this document is available also on PCPB's handles. For those who will be interested on it, you can download it there. It is available for the public. So let's look at that statement made by the PCPB vis-a-vis our scientific report, and we see what we come out with. So you can remember that we said under the fungicides, we had 5 active ingredients out of the 30, and action was taken on 1. Of course, this one product, one active ingredient is to be found in 20 products in the market. And so that decision by PCPB will affect 20 products in the market currently. Of course, 1 out of 5, that is just 20%. Of course, this percentage will go lower if you include all the other active ingredients available in the market. In terms of insecticides, we had 20 active ingredients in the report. Then action was only taken on 3 of them, which will represent roughly 15% thereabout. And these 3 active ingredients are to be found in 2 products. So this decision will only affect 2 products in the market that contain these particular ones. No action was taken as far as the active ingredients in the herbicides. And so, in terms of the products, you can remember when we were beginning, when we listed the 30 active ingredients, they were to be found in 343 products, and this decision will only affect 22 products out of 343, which represents roughly 6%. You can judge whether that is a very good progress. You see, this is when we are, if we assumed that we only had these products in the market, then we have done 6%. Maybe it is a step in the right direction, but looking at it holistically, we do not just have 343 products in the market. We have much more if you include all the other active ingredients that were not listed by PCPB, which are also highly hazardous. And so this percentage will go much more lower than this. And so I will say that this is not half a loaf. We are smelling that there is some bakery trying to do something. And so we will still will put more pressure, if I may say. As they say, sio siasa is what? Ni pressure. So I will say that we are still not doing well. And while we appreciate the initiative, we will still demand that much more is done. In the report, we also highlighted alternatives to the active ingredients that we were recommending to be withdrawn from the market. And out of the 7 that PCPB has taken action, 4 of them were in the report. And we are not left without alternative. For all the other ingredients not listed here, there were also alternatives, and those who will be interested for those particular details, this report is also still available. And so, for example, this one, PCPB took action on this one, and on the scientific report we also gave some alternatives to this particular compound, which are less hazardous. PCPB has also taken action on this particular active ingredient, and in our report, we had also listed some alternatives to that particular ingredient, and therefore the users are not left without choice as a result of this action taken by the PCPB. There are much more alternatives available. We have seen this notorious one that also PCPB has boldly taken the right step. In the report also, we had several alternatives that have been listed there that farmers can use in place of this particular active ingredient. So while it will be withdrawn from the market, the farmers also are not left without choice. And as it has been presented previously, there are integrated methods that we can use to manage pest control. And then lastly, we had also this particular active ingredient that PCPB has taken action, and we had also proposed alternatives to that particular active ingredient. And so, in a nutshell, we will say that yes, PCPB has made a step in the right direction. It is not enough. The step is welcome, but I think we need to now put more pressure on our government to do that which we require of them to safeguard the safety of our food. Thank you.